I'm Andru Creighton. Andrew with EU. It's spelled wrong. I know. I get it. I give my parents flack all the time for it, but that's just life. Yes, Ari in the chat. I see you spelling it wrong. That was not pointed at you. But we'll get rolling. So why we're a good catch? Orca is a 100% native customer marketing and reference management application built for Salesforce. So my business partner and I, Scott, built it on really three core principles, and it's expanded and grown a lot. And those three are simple, data-driven, and automated. Everything we do, from this presentation to our demos, to our documentation, to our onboarding experience, to really our end user experience, we try to make as simple as possible. We don't want to add too many bells and whistles that nobody uses. We really just want it to be simple, straightforward, and easy to use. Data-driven, we try to tie as much data to every piece of the tool as possible. So whether that's, again, use cases, whether that's metrics, whether that's just basic who's using the tool and who's not, we want to really tie as much data to every piece of the puzzle as possible. And lastly, automated. We try to automate as much as possible. Going back to a lot of the demos we've already heard today, we want to help save you as the end user, or you as kind of the champion of the tool, time to do other things, to grow the strategy, to invest in other areas. Liz, there is something popping up on the screen. I don't know if that's you or me, but we want to try to automate as much as possible. Oh, there we go. Orca is 100% native. So what that means is it lives entirely within your Salesforce org. We don't have access to your data. There's not an integration or a connection that needs to be set up. And our pricing is really, really simple. It starts at $850 a month. That includes unlimited users, unlimited features, unlimited updates, service support, you name it, it's included in a fixed price. So from a budgetary standpoint of view, you can really plan out what your year, 1 year to 3-4 years looks like from that pricing standpoint of view. So our idea of a good date, our dream catch, is we're always looking for companies ready to settle down. So you want to add structure to your customer marketing program. You want to formalize a self-serving process. You want to have real time, and you really want to cut out the fluff. Like I said, let's cut out all the stuff in those tools that you're not using. Are nice to have. So shout out Liz for her question on, I think it was LinkedIn yesterday or the day before, related to AI. So I went to ChatGPT. I've never been to speed dating. So I said, what do you do at speed dating? Or how do I kind of jump off the page at a speed dating event? And ChatGPT told me to be myself. So I think I've checked that box. Ask questions. I can't do that. So we'll do that on our second date. But you have to have an open mind. So we have obviously an ideal profile of our customers in the high tech and B2B space, but we've got small customers, we've got giant customers. We have it all across all different industries. So we have an open mind and would love to explore if your company is a fit there. I see you, we see you, your spreadsheet lovers, your custom homegrown Salesforce field users, teams struggling to show program value. I see you. I creep on your profiles all the time. I see you in the Slack channels. I see you on communities. Everybody wants ways to do these things better. We're here for you. That is our idea of a good date. I'll help you with your metrics, I promise. But unfortunately, if you're not on Salesforce, we're not the right fit, but there are a lot of other vendors coming up next who are for you. So moving on, once we've kind of gotten past that early stage, we're ready to get on board and start on your Orca journey, is we really invested a lot of time and energy into what it looks like once you get on board. How do we get either you up to value or time to value as quickly as possible? Or how do we make a tool that supports your enterprise program at the most efficient and effective level? So we've kind of broken it into 3 steps. Do we want to, and we do kind of that during the onboarding process to say, okay, what is important? Do we need to get up and running next week, or do we need to have this really unique custom workflow that really meets kind of your request process or your nomination process? So this is kind of how we break it down into getting started and explore in a migrator phase, with a little bit of an Orca pun there. So moving on, what our past dates have said, Sarah Haberman has been a part of Orca and on the Orca journey for quite some time. She's an amazing partner of ours, but kind of just some buzzwords that jump out is our relationship with them is very much as a consultative partner. We love growing as a business based on their feedback and their use of the tool, and we love helping their program grow and succeed over time. Another one, Chelsea at Terminus, kind of speaks for itself, a low cost value for the amount of benefit, alignment, and efficiency that the tool has. So what does the tool actually do? All this stuff sounds great, but what does it look like? How does it work? What does it do? So again, all within Salesforce, we'll start with kind of the idea of building your advocacy pool. So Orca has components that live directly on the opportunity, the contact, and account records within your Salesforce. So we want to enable your teams to have a self-service access to whether it's nominating, whether it's requesting, whether it's actually engaging with your advocates. And we want to put that all through a detailed approval process that really starts with kind of the core of the nomination process is fatigue management. So you'll see kind of starting from the top of this form, we're going to pull from existing contacts directly within your Salesforce. You're going to be able to set parameters on how often an advocate is able to be accessed. So maybe that's in this example, once a quarter. You could set that to 5 times a year, whatever that number is. Orca will automatically take the reins to make sure that you're not overusing those contacts. You can set how often or what they're willing to do. So whether that's reference calls, whether that's speaking engagements, testimonials, video reviews, you name it, it's all customizable. Same thing with products and a couple other things there. So then once we kind of get things running, we have the ability to have internal and external loyalty program, gamification, points, rewards, whatever term you want to use. The concept is all the same. So we'll have advanced gift tracking. So whether you have an integration set up with one of the leading vendors, or you're just manually tracking who you're giving gifts to, we're tying all of these things together. We want to have as much information on Reggie Miller's contact in one place as possible, as opposed to those spreadsheets and Salesforce and your vendor profile and this and that. So then what does this mean? We want to, again, go back to that self-service portal. We want to engage or give your reps, whether those are sales reps, whether those are marketers, whether those are your CS team, the ability to have access to your advocates, but not necessarily have that direct line of communication to them. So this is the locate advocate component represents your book of advocates. It has advanced filtering. So you can say, okay, I'm looking for an advocate in this geographic location with this industry and maybe this use case. So Orca will apply those filters, and then you can make a request that can get routed to any different number of ways. Maybe it's just through your desk, maybe it goes to the account owner, maybe there's a CS team that's reviewing that. It's all customizable. We can also have advanced recommendations. So maybe a rep gets on and you want it to auto-populate 3 or 4 folks that match some criteria that are tied to their opportunity. Easy does it and saves a bunch of time. So kind of the next phase of that, continuing on our process, we've nominated, we've searched, we've requested. Now what happens? The kind of momentum killer is scheduling the meetings and getting feedback from those. So Orca has a meeting scheduler, so you can get, just like Calendly, you can get your customers' availability, that automatically gets sent to your prospects, and then they can connect on that meeting. All that information gets uploaded into Salesforce. So you, your reps, and everybody along in the process knows exactly when that meeting takes place. And then automatic feedback surveys can get sent out as well that are totally customizable based on the information you would like to collect. And last but not least, our metrics. Again, I creep on you. I know everybody talks about it. Everybody needs help with it. Metrics, metrics, metrics. How do I show the value of all of this stuff that you, your teams, the rest of the business is doing? So Orca comes out of the box with advanced reporting and dashboards. So these are just examples that customers get when they install Orca, but they are fully customizable from top to bottom. When we work with you during implementation and during onboarding to customize them and get them looking exactly as you would like, and also exactly to highlight that information that's important to your executive teams, your leadership, all the folks who want to know the impact of your business. So for example, comparing win rates and close rates with and without advocates, comparing average sale price with and without advocates, or maybe just simply tracking which accounts are engaging in the most activity, who's doing the most reference calls, who's given the most testimonials, kind of just from an overall standpoint. So my last couple of seconds here, Orca is more than just a reference manager. Some new functionality that we've rolled out is some automation on identifying new and at-risk advocates. So Orca gives you the ability to set some parameters or maybe some key fields that you want to identify who could potentially be new advocates and who might be at risk for not necessarily being the best advocate for your program. General advocate requests are for those situations where maybe your rep doesn't know who the best reference or best advocate would be for the situation. Like I mentioned, metrics, loyalty tracking, campaigns, content management, and recommendations. And I think that's my time. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Look forward to chatting with you more.